Hello, hello. Hey, Snark. How are ya? I was just thinking about you, actually. It's good to see you. We are back for another trial day. So I was planning to go at 3 o'clock and then I pushed back a half an hour. So I hope that's okay. But um, I was live like super late last night, too. If you guys didn't see that case, um, that one is kind of deep, I guess you could say. So there is some warning with that one. Did you watch that one? Yeah, it's intriguing. And, I should have followed up on the other case files on that today, and I haven't done that yet. So I've been kind of busy, but it is intriguing. I've been thinking about the video that the police department put together on her tying the rope herself. And I just can't seem to shake that she would do that herself. It's just, I don't know. I'm not one that's huge into conspiracies, but I don't know. I just don't feel it that she did. And maybe because like Asian cultures naturally are very modest people. So I just feel that for her to be naked um is odd. And furthermore, it's bizarre to me how they can find the brother um, responsible civilly, yet they still did not push for charges. So I think there's more to be investigated in that. But I mean, who are we aside from ordinary people critiquing them? They obviously know more than we do. But if the family knows something that we don't, then it leads me to kind of question things. So it does seem fishy. So I don't know if you think it's fishy too. So I think most of us did. I mean, I'm open to people saying why they don't think it's suspicious for sure, because I'd be interested to know why, or and someone not directly from the department. But so I'm not sure if notifications went out or not, but it's okay. Um, I hope that have you guys seen Kendra around anywhere today? Um, I was seeing if she popped up in Sophie's chat earlier, and I didn't see her because I wanted to make sure she was going to go live this evening. I was going to put her link in the chat, but I know I put it in here yesterday, but she was going through some things. But if I see her pop in here and she says she's going live again, I'll put her link in the chat again. So with that, I guess we can go ahead and get started. What's up, Muggsy? How are ya? Hope you're doing well. So let's get started. Oh, Muggsy, by the way, w- have you looked at all of the files pertaining to the mobsters like Capone? I'm sure you have. All the Italian mobsters. I feel like you would have seen all of those because I was doing all of my FBI files and stuff for a while. And I was thinking how I haven't done any of those. And I mean, it's been several months and I need to jump in to looking at those again. And I have all these files on, you've seen a few. You'll have to let me know if there's any that you haven't seen because I might have them. So, but yeah, I mean, they're so large. Like, I have so many files. And I've got some, I've got some like audio files, and I mean, I got access to files that are not necessarily like someone went to the DC FBI office. There's like um, various audio files and um, prison files, things like that. So, um, anyways, that's totally separate topic. But yeah, you'll have to let me know which ones you've seen or which ones you haven't seen. I know there's some that are like 15,000 pages. I'm like, dear God, I'll never get through that. But I need to get back into doing some FBI files. So, but let me proceed with, you got the good stuff? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm assuming that they're good. I don't quite know because I haven't really gone through all of it, but we shall see. I know that some of them are huge, ginormous files. Or maybe I should just put out something that says how big these files are or what is in them. All right, this is going to start, this is still day one of the Nicholas Godejohn trial. This is just part two. Um, this would be like after lunch, and I'm going to sneeze here. Give me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. And if we have time, I know that this is like 3 hours, but I'm going to speed it up. I really want to get into the actual medical examiner and where they get into like the text messages, things like that. Thank you, Snark. Um, so it's still early, so we'll push through. So, and if the volume is bad or you need it turned down or anything sped up, slow down. I think it's only at 1.25 right now. Just let me know.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Oh,
Can you
God,
please state
cracking
your
the
name?
audio again.
Sherri, yes, sir.
And how do you spell Sherri?
S-H-E.
Ma'am, what is your current occupation?
I am a yellow cab driver, independent contractor.
What does that mean to be a yellow cab driver but independent contractor?
I own a yellow cab.
And how long have you been driving for yellow cab?
I believe I've been driving since April of 2013.
Why the fuck do we need to look at this
Ma'am,
dude's
back
head?
in June of 2015, were you driving for yellow cab?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember the Greene County Sheriff's Office at some point coming?
Oh, there's Nick. Why is this thing like have a box on it? What the hell? He looks so different. So different.
To talk to you?
Yes, sir.
And was that about a ride that you had given in the early morning hours of June 10th, 2015?
Yes, sir.
And was that did you pick that individual up at the Days Inn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe what you remember about picking up that individual at the Days Inn?
Was dispatched to the Days Inn on North Glenstone to pick up a gentleman. Picked him up. Got my cab. I was to take him to off of Volunteer Way.
And do you keep logs of after each shift?
Yes, we keep very detailed logs, short sheets.
And I know that this was some time ago. You've probably given a few rides since 2015. Would it be helpful for you to have a chance to take a look at your log?
Absolutely.
Can I throw a shot, please? Let me hand this to you. I know it's kind of small, but do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a trip sheet.
What is a trip sheet?
It's basically a log, a daily log of all of our calls, and each individual line is each trip that we make. It starts off with the time we pick up, the pickup address, and then the destination that we go to, and then the drop-off time, and also the amount of the trip.
Now, on that, again, early morning of June 10th, what time were you dispatched to the Days Inn?
I don't know exact time that I was dispatched. The time to pick up was 8:57.
And you mentioned a address on Volunteer Way. After looking at your log, does that refresh your memory on what the address was?
Do you want me to speed this up? Does this seem a good speed, or you want me to speed it up a little bit? I can't tell because some of these people talk slow and then some of them talk fast. I go back and forth and I hate to keep switching.
Yes, it would be 2103 West Volunteer Way.
And
Okay.
when you got to the Days Inn, did you pick up one person or more than one person?
Just one person.
And do you recall what you remember about him?
It was just white male.
If I could approach.
Yes.
Does that actually say 157?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you said 8.
No, 157.
Okay, that's all right. And that would be 157 a.m.
Yes, 157 a.m.
Now, when you picked up the individual from the Days Inn, about how long of a drive is that from Days Inn to that address on Volunteer Way?
Near there. It's about, I'd say, a little under 10 minutes, because you take the highway, you would take Highway 44, and you get off on from Glenstone to North Kansas Avenue. It's a little under 10 minutes.
During the drive, do you recall the passenger saying anything or doing anything?
I do. I'm very talkative, with my passengers a lot of times, especially people I pick up at the airport or pick up at a hotel room. Normally I say, what brings you to Spring Patch, Springfield. And this gentleman, hey, I'm from Wisconsin. He said he was here to meet his girlfriend. That's pretty much.
Oh, hey, Kendra. How are you? I was asking about you at the beginning of the stream. I was seeing if you were still going to go live because I was going to put your link in the chat. But if you are here and you're still going to go live, you can drop your link and I'll pin it.
Just small talk.
And then as you were approaching the address at 2103 West Volunteer Way, do you remember him saying anything else or doing anything else?
When I got there, he asked me to wait just a few seconds. He was on his cell phone. He was texting he said he was texting his girlfriend to see where he was supposed to, what door he was supposed to go to. It says something like that.
And if it's 157, fair to say it's pretty dark out?
Correct.
Okay. And when you got to the address, did you park on the street, driveway, or something different?
I was on the street.
And eventually, did the gentleman get out of the cab?
Yes.
Did you make any observations about what he did once he got out of your cab?
What I saw is he got out of the cab and he went to the right of the home, right rear of the home.
And was there anything odd about what you saw that kind of stuck out in your mind?
Just, he didn't go to the front door, he went to the rear of the home. That's the only thing.
And after refreshing your memory on your log, about what time was it that you dropped him off?
The drop-off time was 2:06 a.m.
I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Mr. Nestor, I just have a few questions. You made a pickup and drove someone from the Days Inn to a house on Volunteer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Volunteer Way.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to talk to our prosecutor and kind of prepare for your testimony today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're refreshed your memory with the reports and everything.
Yes, sir.
Then you told us that the person you picked up said, hey, I'm from Wisconsin. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And I'm here for my girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
And you also told the officer that he had a strong accent, correct?
I remember, I did say that in my initial report, that he did kind of have an accent. Yes.
Was it a Wisconsin accent?
I don't know what a Wisconsin accent sounds like.
But he talked it.
Yes.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections with this being released?
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, just
Quick.
State calls John Harmon.
come on up, sir. Just right over here. I have to swear you in, so just grab a seat. I'll show you in after you have a seat. Okay? Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Keep your voice up, okay? All righty.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your name?
John Harmon,
Mr. Harmon, how are you currently employed?
Blue Springfield Hellcat.
And are you also an independent contractor?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you driven for Yellow Cab?
Been there approximately 17 years.
Sir, going back to June of 2015, were you driving for Yellow Cab then?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, you recall the Greene County Sheriff's Office contacting you about a ride you had given in the early morning hours of June 10th, 2015?
Yes.
And
So let me ask you guys a question. If you were someone that drives for like Yellow Cab, and so this murder happened in 2015 and this trial's happening in 2018. So you're talking about a 3-year span, right? Would you remember like details from 3 years ago when your life is driving people around all day, every day? Like there would have to be something really significant for me to remember someone with all that interaction. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
when you're driving, do you also keep logs of your different cab fares?
Yes, keep trip sheets.
And given that this was some time ago, would it be helpful for you to refresh your memory to get a copy of that to see?
Yes, yeah.
Couldn't hurt, could it?
Yeah, get hard.
Smack road.
Hello, Sailor. Hey, Sam.
And according to that log, you made a pickup at 2103 West Volunteer Way, is that right?
Yes.
And about what time was it that you went to that residence?
I think it's about 5:48 in the morning, 5:48 a.m. Because we write dinner time just as soon as we get there.
Right. And when you got there, did you park in the street, pull in the driveway, or something different?
I pulled into the driveway.
And eventually, did one or more people come out?
There was 2 people.
Okay. And what do you remember about those 2 people physically?
Male and female. He was wearing, I believe, blue jeans and a white t-shirt. She was wearing like a skirt. And I can't remember exactly what color shirt. It looked like she possibly had a wig on.
Okay. And when they got in the cab,
To the days in there on North Kentwood.
and is there anything that is noteworthy or that you remember about your drive there?
Not really. It was pretty quiet.
And then when you got to the Days Inn, did they pay you and then go on their way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And about what time was it that you dropped them back off at the Days Inn?
I dropped them off at 5:55 a.m.
And that was on June 10th?
Yes, sir.
No other questions, Your Honor.
Anything this week? Yes, Your Honor. You picked up a male and female.
Yes, sir.
Days in.
No. I picked up 2103 West Volunteer Way.
And took them to days.
Yes.
And they paid you.
Yes.
$20 bill?
Yep.
Who paid you?
I believe it was her, the female.
The female. She had the money?
Yep.
No further questions.
Thank you. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse.
On behalf of the state.
Mr. Reed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good.
State Constable Teeman.
Okay. Come on up, sir. Just have a seat. I'll swear you have to have a seat, okay? When you're ready, right there. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give and the cause you're about to do before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You got it.
Thank you.
Mr. Patrick? Good afternoon. State your name for the record, please.
Trevor Teagan,
Will you spell your last name, please?
Teeling.
How are you employed?
To the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
What do you do for the Greene County Sheriff's Office?
I'm a detective,
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office total?
approximately 9 years,
And how long have you been a detective with the Sheriff's Office?
5 years.
What's your career assignment?
I'm the supervisor over the property crimes division.
I want to take you back to June of 2015, and just, were you working at the Sheriff's Office then?
Yes, sir.
In what capacity?
I was a detective.
Were you assigned parts of the investigation involving the death of Claudine Blanchard?
I was.
And through the course of your involvement in that case, you become familiar with who Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard were?
Yes.
As part of your role in the investigation, did you go to the Greyhound station to look for something that occurred on June 11th or 12th?
I did.
What was it you went to look for?
I was sent to look for video surveillance of both of them coming in and purchasing tickets.
Were you able to find that on their surveillance
I
system?
was.
Was their surveillance system working properly?
Yes.
And you're familiar with the Greyhound bus station?
Yes, sir.
The surveillance videos that you found, did they fairly and accurately depict the Greyhound bus station?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this disc here at the top that's Nicholas Godejohn, and then at the bottom it says states exhibit. And you've had occasion to.
What the hell?
And our exhibits
50 through 54 and 60 through 67, either still photographs from the surveillance video or surveillance video clips from the Greyhound bus station on June 11th and 12th
Yes.
of 2015.
Correct.
And again, they fairly and accurately depict the bus station on those days?
Yes.
And is Nicholas Godejohn seen on those?
Yes.
And Gypsy Blanchard?
Yes.
Do you see Nicholas Godejohn here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point out and describe what he's wearing?
He's at the defendant table and shaved head in the checkered shirt.
Does the record reflect that identification of the defendant?
It was so reflect.
At this time, I did move to admit the disc that contains State's Exhibits 46 through 67.
No objection, Your Honor.
Then we received.
No further questions.
Ms. Reed, Anthony?
No questions, Your Honor.
Have you witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Officer Blanchard?
It's strange to me that the defense and the prosecution are sitting on opposite sides. Like typically it's the prosecution on the right side and the defense on the left side. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that Wade Wilson guy other than I remembered him because he has the weirdest facial tattoos. That courtroom is tiny. It's really small.
Judge,
Yes.
could we take a 5-minute recess and the jury go to their room to make a brief record on something?
Oh, sure. So folks, after
Go to their room.
First recess to court. Until you're retired to consider your verdict, you must not discuss this case among yourselves or with others or permit anyone to discuss it in your hearing. You should not form or express any opinion about the case until it is finally given to you to decide. Do not do any research or news about the case by any means. Do not be. Take about a 5-minute break.
Judge, the state next witness is handling over the week on the record on that. I know the court is waiting on both of these issues. Pre-trial that I have to make a contemporaneous objection. The first objection I would make is regarding the motion to suppress. We would object to her testifying and we'd ask the court to reconsider.
Oh my God.
The objection I would make is
Hold
regarding
on.
the motion to suppress. We would object.
Do you see the captions? Oh my God. Oh, stop it. Emotion. Oh my God. Sorry. That just. Oh, I'm such a child. Oh, Jesus. What the hell? I'm trying to see if there's any other witnesses on this one. Emotionless. I gotta write that down just because that's funny as shit. What is that? 1753. I'm gonna laugh about that all day. Motionless breasts. We rejected. Oh, I- oh my God. Uh, sorry, I'm still laughing. I think I can go to the next one. Let me just skip forward. Oh wait, hold on. Let me take a screenshot with my phone before I forget, because this is just too fucking funny. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being 12. Okay. Hey, MW. Don't mind me. I'm just acting like I'm 6 years old, laughing at the captions and taking screenshots just so I can. Okay, carrying on with my emotionless breasts.
Come on up.
Okay. Oh, God. That's so funny.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause not pending before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Right. Well, good afternoon. Can you please state your name?
Angela Mahoney,
What's your current occupation?
work for the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
And what's your current capacity with the Greene County Sheriff's Office?
I work in the Transportation Excavation Unit.
And what's your current rank? What is your current rank?
Corporal.
Okay. And what do you do? What does the transportation expedition unit do?
I travel across the state picking up inmates from different prisons or that have warrants for arrest.
And how long have you had this current position?
A little over a year.
What did you do for the sheriff's office prior to your current position?
I work for the Criminal Investigations Division as a detective.
And were you assigned to a particular unit?
Mainly major crimes and crimes against children.
And how long were you a detective in the criminal investigations unit?
7.5 years.
Prior to that, did you work for the sheriff's office doing something else?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
I worked in patrol, and I also worked in the jail.
So how many total years have you worked for the Greene County Sheriff's Office?
18.
And specifically in your work in criminal investigations, did you receive specific training about interviewing suspects of crimes?
Yes, sir.
What kind of training did you have?
I went to the Reed interview interrogation. I've also attended various trainings at other municipalities on interviews.
And based on that training, are there multiple ways that you can approach an interview to a suspect?
Yes, sir.
What are some of the
Hey,
different
autistic
ways that you can
Jill.
approach?
You can be kind and speak to them, or you can, I guess...
Oh, Kendra,
be
I
more
just see your
aggressive.
your
People
thing
just
that you
get back
fixed
to
it.
what
Okay,
you're
hold on.
And specifically for you, do you kind of have a particular style that you use when you interview suspects?
I do.
Okay, what is that?
I'm usually pleasant and kind. You just have a conversation.
Do you typically kind of go through a rapport building stage?
Yes, sir.
And what's the purpose of doing that?
It allows you to kind of see the person, their mannerisms or the way they react to questions. It allows both me and the person I'm interviewing to calm down and just kind of relax a little bit, kind of get to know a little bit about the person.
And during that, you kind of mentioned that you have a pleasant style, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you keep that style regardless of how serious of a crime the person is a suspect in?
Typically,
And why is it beneficial, even if someone is suspected of doing something serious, to maybe downplay it or minimize it, act like it's not as serious?
well, because when I'm interviewing someone, I'm there to get the facts of the case. I'm not there to punish them or remind them of what they did. I just want the facts.
So I'd like to call your attention to June 14 of 2015. Were you working on that day?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did you become involved in a case that involved a homicide of Dee Dee Blanchard?
Yes, sir.
What initially kind of brought you into the case? How did you get involved?
My supervisor contacted me and started giving me some assignments to contact people.
She was the one that went up to Wisconsin and got the confession from Nick, isn't she? I think she is.
And ultimately, my assignment was to go to Waukesha County, Wisconsin, and interview Nicholas
Oh,
Godejohn.
yep.
And do you recall when you went to Waukesha County, what date that was?
I believe it was on the 15th, but I didn't actually get to interview until a little after midnight on the 16th.
And had you become aware that he was in custody there in Waukesha County?
Yes, sir.
And did you travel alone, or did another investigator go?
Detective Hancock, Sam Hancock with me.
Was he the lead detective in this
Yes,
case?
sir.
Now, when you got to Waukesha County, did you more or less go pretty quickly to the jail where Mr. Godejohn was being held?
Yes, sir. I went to the sheriff's office.
Okay, sheriff's office, sorry. And you said that Detective Hancock was there too. If you were interviewing Mr. Godejohn, what was Detective Hancock, what was his role?
His role was to interview Gypsy Blanchard and to monitor my interview while I was interviewing Nicholas Godejohn.
And by the time you made it to the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office, were you aware that Mr. Godejohn had been waiting for several hours?
Yes, sir.
So given that, did you ask any questions or make any inquiry about what his condition was before you did your interview?
Yes, sir. I asked the detectives that were there just if he had eaten, had anything to drink, used the restroom, and what his mannerisms were.
And why was it important for you to know or make sure that he had those kinds of breaks and food and water, things like that?
Just to kind of judge the stress or distress he may be in.
Where was specifically Mr. Godejohn being held at the sheriff's office when you arrived?
In an interview room.
And is that where you first made contact with him?
Yes, sir.
And the individual, Mr. Godejohn, that you interviewed, do you see him here today?
Yes, sir.
Can you just point to where he's sitting and what color shirt it is?
He's sitting there, he's got a tan color shirt on.
Your Honor, would the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant?
It was so reflected.
When you got into the interview room, what did you notice about the defendant's kind of demeanor initially?
He was pleasant. He just answered my questions. We talked about, he had a blanket. He was handcuffed. He was kind.
Okay. And did he appear to be in any kind of distress or anything when you first made contact with him?
No.
Now, prior to asking him questions, did you advise him of his Miranda rights?
Yes, sir.
And did you use anything to assist you in doing that?
Yes.
What did you use?
Greene County Miranda form.
And was this interview recorded?
Yes, sir.
Matt Roger.
Yeah.
Corporal, I'm going to first show you what I've marked here as State's Exhibit 149. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's the recording we interviewed with Nicholas.
And have you viewed the interview that is on this disc?
Yes, sir.
And is it fair and accurate of your interview with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
And have you marked it in a way that you can remember that this is the one you watched?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that your initials right there?
Yes, sir.
Then showing you here State's Exhibit 146. Do you recognize what that is?
Yes, sir. That's the Greene County Miranda form.
And is this the original?
Yes, sir.
And is this the form that you went over Mr. Godejohn's Miranda rights with?
Yes, sir.
And other than obviously it being in the package, is it in the same or substantially same condition as when you filled it out?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Julie.
Your Honor, the State would seek to admit State's Exhibits 146 and 149. I apologize. I was looking through the plastic. 149 and 150. The Miranda form is 150. I'm stating instead it was 146.
Judge, we would object to State's Exhibits 149 and 150 being introduced into evidence based upon the reasonable number.
And may State's Exhibit 149 be published?
Yes. Now, before they do that, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't able to see it, let me know. We can turn it up or move the screen, or we can move the chair.
Hey,
It
Shanna.
lasts about an hour and a half, as I understand it. So after probably about an hour, we're going to take a break, just so you don't get uncomfortable. If you need one before that hour break occurs, let me know. Okay. Listen. Check if you want. You can step down while this plays, unless you're going to be pointing at things while it's playing.
Not during.
You feel a lot more comfortable than sitting right there being passive by the speaker.
Where would you like me to sit?
Oh, just really on the front row if you want to. You can sit. You can sit over here if you like. Whatever. Whatever's comfy. You can move it over here behind. Those benches get a little hard after a while. The jury has found that. Can everybody see the screen?
Hello. You've been here a long time waiting for me to get here. I tried to get here as fast as I could. Are you tired?
I just stay away from time to time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you, and I guess you said you wanted to talk to me, so I'm going to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure you got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You probably want to know what's going on with Gypsy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to answer your questions for you. Did you get something to eat?
No, they offered that to me.
Did you get meat?
I ate something before that.
Okay, what did you eat?
No worries,
they're
Julie.
called
Drive
ingredients.
safe.
I guess they offer that with mayonnaise as well.
Oh, do you like minis?
Well, I told them I can do bologna though, so I was just going to give them mayonnaise for it. Not when I said bologna, because I've been place over at with Gypsy.
Okay, we're going to talk about Gypsy.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Gypsy, okay?
Okay.
Because I know you got a lot of questions, and I want to answer your questions, and I want to talk to you, and see what's going on. Okay? Before I do, I'm going to read your Miranda rights. Have you ever been read your Miranda rights before?
It sounds familiar.
Sometimes they do it on TV, but the way I do it's going to be a little different than probably what you see on TV, but it's probably about the same, okay? All right. Can you read and write?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions I already know the answers to, and that's one of them. I know you can read and write. So whenever I'm talking to you, I'm going to ask you some questions I already know the answers to, okay? Okay? Can you fill out this top part for me?
So,
You got handcuffs on?
yes, I do.
You hear it? Let me take them off. Would you be more comfortable?
That would be fine if you
Okay.
did. Because these things
Have you done one a long time?
I've had this entire time.
Okay. Let's take them off so you can get a little more comfortable. That probably feels a lot better, doesn't it?
I have been waiting for that for a long time. Alright, so,
It says Nicholas. You go by Nicholas, something different?
I prefer, usually by my family, I'll be called Nicholas, but by friends and other people,
Has everyone here watched the interrogation of Nick? I'm just wondering because if everybody's seen this already, I have it already on the channel when we reviewed it. Because if it seems repetitive, I can go forward. I can skip over this part. So you guys just let me know, because I don't want to bore you with something that you've probably seen. Yes, okay, yes, okay. Let me go forward then. If you haven't seen it, I do have it in the Gypsy playlist on the channel. Is it really all? Let's see. Wait, is that?
Due to the kind of angle You couldn't see the defendant's face straight on from that angle. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
In the video. So, based on your observation sitting across from him, how would you describe his eye contact with you?
He maintained eye contact with me throughout the interview.
Even when you asked him about some of the more graphic sexual things?
Yes, sir. There'd be times he would look down.
I'll put the link to the stream that was covering the interrogation in the description.
But then again, look back up and continue on.
No other questions?
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
Yes, Judge. Officer Mahoney, are you aware of any autism protocol at the Greene County Sheriff's Department?
No, sir.
Is that a no?
No, sir.
Have you had any training in autism or how to handle suspects who may be on the autism spectrum?
No, sir.
Do you have any general mental health training?
Yes, sir. I do
Hey,
have some
Cindy.
that were mandated to take through the sheriff's office.
And have you taken any classes on how to interrogate suspects who may be mentally ill or have disabilities?
It depends on the disability. If they're deaf, we can get like a sign, someone to sign. If they can't talk, we could have them write and things like that.
Now, you mentioned you've been trained in the Reed method of interrogation.
Yes, sir.
And when was that?
I'm not sure the exact year. The estimate would be in 2007.
And how long is that training in hours?
The class was 4 days, and we went 8 hours each day.
So that'd be 32 hours,
Yes, sir.
thereabouts? And do you receive some sort of certificate when you complete the Reed technique of interrogation?
I'm not sure.
Did you receive one?
I don't recall if I did or not.
Have you ever read the Reed interrogation manual?
I went through the process in the training that I went to.
And so it's part of the training.
Yes, sir. They provide you a book.
Okay. And prior to this interview, you had quite a bit of information about this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You knew what had happened to Dee Dee Blanchard?
Yes, sir.
And you knew about the Facebook post?
Yes, sir.
You knew about the arrest of both Mr. Godejohn and Ms. Blanchard?
Yes, sir.
You knew about the knife?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that he was on the autism spectrum?
No, sir.
Had you received any kind of information that he was on the autism spectrum?
No, sir.
Now, this particular interview took place right after midnight, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it lasted about an hour and a half?
Yes, sir.
He told you he was tired,
Yes, sir.
and he seemed tired to you, is that correct?
At times when he would say he was tired, he did appear that he might be tired.
Did that cause you to question whether you should continue to question him, given the fact that he was tired and it was after midnight?
No, sir. Being tired is not a deal breaker on the interview.
Okay. Matter of fact, interviewing in the middle of the night isn't terribly uncommon, is it?
That's correct, sir.
Is there a reason that you like to interview people late at night?
I have no preference at any time of day.
He also told you he was a little bit loopy,
He did.
and you Mirandized him.
Yes, sir.
I think State's Exhibit 150 is the Miranda form itself, correct?
I don't recall the number.
Okay, it was
Yes,
you
sir.
remember him showing you the Miranda form.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's State's Exhibit number 150, and that's a standard form put out by the Greene County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, sir.
And is there a Sheriff's Department policy regarding Mirandizing a special needs person?
Not that I'm aware of.
So you treat everybody the same, assuming they speak the English language, is that correct?
Some people require a little extra assistance getting through a Miranda form. Sometimes you have somebody that can't read, you have to help them with that. So if there is a need and it's recognizable, we do try to address that.
And there is no specialized Miranda form with someone who's on the autism spectrum.
Don't you think that they would be prejudiced if they were to put something about, oh, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Like if they made you indicate whether you were disabled or not on a form, on a Miranda form, you know? I don't know. I could see that going badly.
Is that correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were you aware, had you been provided information by his family about him?
No, I have not.
Did you talk to his family?
I did talk to his mother, but that was followed.
Because, oh, sorry, I'm pausing it again. Because if someone is disabled and let's just say that they put that they're not, but really they are, and they're just not understanding, they're just going by, no, it's covering all bases and ensuring that individual understands. Yeah, but what if they don't understand and they put something, you know, like saying that they are not and they truly don't, you know, and then it comes down to court and I don't know, you're trusting that this person understands.
On my interview.
Now, during the Miranda questions, which is at that point just asking if he knowingly agrees to talk to you and knowingly waives his right to counsel, he became
Hello, Glennis.
confused, did he not?
I'm not sure.
Was he confused about the word coercion?
Yes.
Okay. He didn't know what it meant, did he?
Well, he did. He said it meant punishment.
And you told him it meant trickery, did you?
I agreed with him on the punishment. I just said, yeah, under the assumption that that was some kind of threats or punishment or physical threats against him. But then I did add the trickery.
And how does the read technique teach you to handle people who don't understand the Miranda form?
I'm not sure how they instruct you to do that.
Now, at one point, you told him that Gypsy had told you the truth.
Yes, sir.
Was that accurate on your part?
No, Gypsy had never told me the truth.
Okay. So when you told him that Gypsy had told the truth, that was a lie, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was a deliberate lie on your part?
Yes, sir.
And is that part of the read technique?
The read's more of a theme. It's a theme-based interview where you try to find things to guide the person, things of interest or things that they find interesting to gain the confession or the information. So I don't personally follow the read procedure step by step. It's just not my style of interviewing, but I have been through that school.
Does the read technique of interrogation permit lying to suspects?
I do not know.
Now, he cooperated with you.
Yes, sir.
He actually answered all your questions.
Yes, sir.
And one of the first things he said to you was, what about Gypsy? I think he said he wants to know what's going on with Gypsy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And he told you he was worried sick about Gypsy.
Yes, sir.
You told him that if he loved Gypsy, he would tell the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that part of the read technique?
No, sir.
He told you that he met Gypsy at the ChristianDatingForFree.com website. Is that correct?
What was that? How did you say that again, sir?
ChristianDatingForFree.com?
Yes, sir.
And did you already know that?
I may have.
And then at one point he tells you this story that Gypsy had been kicked out of her mother's home and that he had run into her, correct? Isn't that basically what he told you initially?
Yes, yes, sir.
And you told him you didn't believe that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you told him that Gypsy had told the truth,
Yes, sir.
which of course you hadn't done. Is that correct?
Not to me, sir.
He then told you he killed her mother because Gypsy asked him to do it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you mentioned to him, you started talking to him about you having been involved in stabbing cases. How many stabbing cases have you been involved in up to that point?
No stabbing cases where anyone has died as a result of the stabbing.
Okay, how many stabbing cases where somebody didn't die?
Maybe 3 or 4 to give an estimate.
So certainly not very many.
Yes, sir.
And what was your position with the Sheriff's Department in June of 2015?
I was a detective.
Okay, and what was your role?
I was an investigator.
And what do you do now?
I work at transport and extradition.
He told you that he believed killing her mother was the only way that he could be with Gypsy. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And he said he only wanted her to be safe.
I'm not sure if that's what he said or not. I don't recall.
He told you he worshipped her and that there wasn't anything he wouldn't do for her.
Correct.
And he mentioned that he learned a lot about her mother. Is that correct?
After the murder, yes.
And at one point you told him not to lie because Gypsy could get in more trouble for something he lied about. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if that's the exact words I used.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, sir.
He told you that she provided the knife.
Yes, sir.
You had an extensive discussion with him about sex. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Both his sexual practices with Gypsy and just other aspects of sex. Is that correct?
With regards to Dee and Gypsy. And if he had ever had sex with dead bodies.
And he told you that sex with dead people would be quite disturbing.
Yes, sir.
He told you that Gypsy felt trapped in a wheelchair. Correct?
I'm not
Remember
sure
that?
the exact words of that, but he did say that she was in a wheelchair.
And he said he
I don't
actually
remember that
encouraged her to
either.
walk.
Yes, sir.
He told you her mother wanted her to pretend to be 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
And he talked about having multiple personalities. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And hearing voices.
He heard voices, I believe, in the past, but those had since stopped.
And then he talked about Gypsy mailing the package.
Yes, sir.
And the package is where the knife was.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see the package?
Yes, sir.
And the package was mailed from Gypsy's house to the house he lived in Wisconsin. Is that correct?
No, sir. The package was mailed from a post office in Springfield, Missouri to Nicholas's house.
Okay, let me rephrase it because that is correct. The package was mailed with a return address of Gypsy's address to Wisconsin. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Just one second. That's all the questions I had, Judge, of this witness.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Just a couple of questions.
Sir?
Corporal, you were asked about whether or not you were aware of any kind of autism that the defendant had when you were being asked that.
Yes, sir.
At any time during your interview with the defendant, did you have any impression or did you suspect that he had any kind of mental condition like that?
I did not.
Also, when you were going over the form, he did have some trouble with the word coercion.
Yes, sir.
You get a lot of interviews in your career, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is the defendant the first person to have problems with the word coercion on the Miranda form?
Absolutely not.
And you also mentioned that a lot of your interviews take place in the middle of the night. Do you recall that?
Interviews do occur in the middle of the night.
And is that generally because crimes occur late at night or in the middle of the night?
They do.
And then you try to interview them as
As soon
quickly
as
as you
possible.
can.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned that some of the things that you said to the defendant were lies. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Are you allowed to do that in
Yes, sir.
interviews?
Yes, sir.
And you said that your answer to one of the questions was that Gypsy had not told the entire truth to you. What did you mean by that?
She was interviewed by Detective Hancock, and she told a lot of information to him. But a lot of the information I had from my interview with Nicholas, but she didn't actually tell me those things.
You didn't have the interview with her.
Correct.
And then lastly, Mr. Perry brought up that during the interview, the defendant says that he learned about Gypsy's mother after the murder. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And he actually said he found out she was a good person after that.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any other questions.
You need to redirect. Go across. May this witness be excused?
On behalf of the state, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have another witness?
Yes. The state calls Joseph Fletcher.
Oh man, we're zipping through this.
Come on up. Have a seat. It's a little tricky there. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause of the report will be truthful, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can you please state your name?
Joseph Fletcher.
What is your current occupation?
I'm a detective with the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
What unit are you currently in?
I'm currently assigned as a task force officer in the Southwest Missouri Cybercrimes Task Force, which investigates internet crimes against children, and a task force officer with Homeland Security investigations as well. As far as with the Sheriff's Office, it would be crimes against persons investigated.
How long have you been a detective with the Sheriff's Office?
Approximately 5 years.
And prior to being a detective, did you work for the Sheriff's Office in other capacities?
Yes.
What were some of the other capacities you worked in?
I've worked in the Corrections Division and also the Patrol Division.
How many total years have you been in law enforcement?
13.
Detective, I'd like to call your attention to June 14th of 2015. Were you working on that day?
No, I wasn't.
But at some point, did you begin working on that day?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And was that into a case involving the death of Dee Dee Blanchard?
Yes.
And how did you initially get called in?
I was contacted by a supervisor and asked to respond into the office to assist in the investigation, and was assigned to research a Facebook post that had been made on the account of Dee Dee Blanchard.
And as part of that task, did you attempt to get records from Facebook?
Yes.
And how do you, as a law enforcement officer, how do you request records from Facebook?
You have to have a search warrant or a subpoena, depending on what records you're going to request, and then Facebook has an electronic portal for law enforcement to where you can upload your requests to them, and then they respond through the portal as well. So when the records are completed by Facebook, you log into the portal and are able to download those records.
Now, how many Facebook accounts were you trying to get records for?
Initially, it was just for the one account that the postings had been on June 14th, but later in the investigation, I requested records for several accounts.
And were any of those accounts associated with Nicholas Godejohn?
Yes.
And were any associated with Gypsy Blanchard?
Yes.
How did you know to search for those specific accounts?
It was through interviews in the investigation from other detectives. They'd received information that Godejohn and Gypsy had used different Facebook accounts to communicate with each other.
Now,
I wonder how
did
many
you go
they
ahead-
had.
I think you mentioned that you have to have a search warrant. When you requested all those different accounts for the defendant and Gypsy Blanchard, did you do that through a search warrant?
Yes.
Then did you receive a response from Facebook?
Yes, I did.
Did they have records for every single account you requested?
No.
Why not?
Some of the accounts had been deleted prior to a preservation request being put into Facebook for those accounts. In that case, Facebook would not be able to provide the records. And then some accounts that I requested were based off of email addresses that we
76?
learned
Wow.
either Godejohn or Gypsy had used, and Facebook responded that there were no Facebook accounts active that used those specific email addresses.
Of the records that you did get, were any associated with Nicholas Godejohn?
Yes,
And what was the name on the Facebook account that was associated with Nicholas Godejohn?
Nicholas Godejohn.
Did you review, or how did Facebook send you those records? Like what format were they in?
They sent me an email saying that the records were ready to be viewed in the portal. So I logged into the portal and downloaded a PDF version of those records that contained everything they provided for that account.
And did you review all the records that you were given on the Nicholas Godejohn account?
Yes, I did.
And approximately how many pages were there to review?
It was approximately 4,100 pages for that account.
And given that there are, let me first ask, as a detective, and you even mentioned cybercrimes, are you familiar with Facebook?
Yes, I did.
And what are the different types of activity that are contained on Facebook records that you get?
It'll generally show subscriber information, which will include the name that the person uses to sign up for an account with Facebook, an email address that they've used to sign up for an account with Facebook, an initial IP or Internet Protocol address that they logged in with for that first activity that happens in the Facebook account. It'll then show recent logins, giving those IP addresses for the recent logins. It'll show a list of friends that people have with the Facebook account. It'll also show timeline activity or the main page of Facebook for people, anything that they post, any pictures that they post, comments that come along with those posts, and then it gets into private messages between the account user and other Facebook account users.
And how does that Facebook messaging work? You mentioned private messages. How does that work?
Whereas on the timeline, if you post something to the timeline, anyone that's friends with that account is able to view that activity. A private message is sent between one account user and another account user, unless it's a group message using the private messaging thing, in which case it would be whoever's involved in the group message can see those messages.
And to jump back for just a second, you mentioned things on the timeline. Based on your review of all of the records, we were able to figure out which account those initial Facebook posts that got neighbors and everyone alerted, what account that came from?
Which account it was posted to, or
which account it originated from?
Yes, there was. It originated on the Gypsy Blanchard Facebook account, but as part of those records that were provided from Facebook for that specific account, it showed recent IP activity for logins, and on the 14th, there was an IP address that had logged in numerous times on that day, and when I received the records back for that IP address, it was Time Warner cable internet connection that was registered to Nicholas Godejohn in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
And so based on your review of those records, could you determine what city those were coming from?
Yes.
And what was that?
That was, I believe, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Now going back to the Nicholas Godejohn Facebook account, starting with, could you see whether or not there were any private messages made between the defendant and Gypsy Blanchard?
There was a showing in the records where there had been an exchange of messages between Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard. However, those messages had been deleted prior to the request for the records, and the content of the messages was not present in the records.
Were you able to see the content of messages between the defendant and other people?
Yes.
And did any of those messages relate to Claudine Blanchard and her eventual murder?
Yes, they did.
May I approach you? Detective, I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 147. Do you recognize what this is?
This is a disc containing an excerpt from the Facebook account, Nicholas Godejohn.
And how many separate conversations are on this disc?
3 separate conversations with 2 individuals.
And have you compared the conversations on this disc with the 4,000-page official report you got from Facebook?
Yes, I have.
And are the 3 messages contained on Exhibit 147 fair and accurate of those that came from the official 4,000-page report from Facebook?
Yes.
Your Honor, the State would seek to admit State's
Hey,
Exhibit
Geneva,
147.
you can come up whenever you want to.
Your Honor, we would object this slide.
Cases.
Your Honor, can we make a record outside?
That's what I do. You guys, so the exhibit we're talking about, we have 146.
Like, I feel like they truly thought that they were going to get away with this crime. And I don't know if you guys have ever, this is kind of off topic, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the John Doe law. But like, you can file a lawsuit even if you don't know the identity of the person. So, like, if like someone is you know that you need to file a lawsuit against someone, whether it be for like say it's for defamation or some sort of criminal action, and you don't know who they are. Basically, the Jane Doe law or the John Doe law, they kind of go back and forth. It allows you to file a lawsuit where the defendant is unknown at the time, and that allows you to be able to start discovery and get those subpoenas signed by a judge so you can submit them to Instagram or Facebook or Reddit or Twitter or wherever it may be that you are needing to find out who they are. And then once you obtain that discovery, you can turn around and name the individual. So a lot of people don't even know that law exists, but yeah.
And then 147 and 148, is that correct?
This exhibit that the state just saw today just states exhibit 147.
147, that's only the CD.
Yes, sir.
I'll show that admitted under objection.
And make this exhibit be published, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
May I move the TV?
Oh, yes.
Allie Ray Noble. Oh, I didn't know that name.
Now, Detective, you had mentioned that there are 3 separate conversations with 2 individuals, is that right?
Yes.
And who are the individuals that the conversations are with?
2 of the conversations are between Nicholas Godejohn's account and Allie Noble's account. And then the other one is between Nicholas Godejohn's account and an account named Beth Dexter's.
In regard to Allie Noble, in addition to the conversation that we have in this exhibit, did you also review Nicholas Godejohn and Allie Noble?
Yes.
And just based on that, were you able to tell what type of relationship it was they had?
Yes.
In what way?
They called each other bro and sis, or brother and sister, and appeared to be friends in reading the conversation between them.
And in regard to Beth Dexterous, did you review all of the conversations between Nicholas Godejohn and Beth Dexterous?
Yes.
And from that, were you able to tell what the nature of their relationship was?
Yes.
And what's that?
It appeared that they had previously been in a relationship but had broken up.
Now, you had seen this exhibit, is that right?
Oh.
Yes.
And fair to say that when the content is coming from Nicholas Godejohn, it's surrounded by blue boxes, and when the recipient is talking, it's surrounded by pink boxes?
Yes.
So then beginning with this message here, May 16th of 2014, can you just read through this conversation for us?
Yes, it says, "Oh, okay, well, did you get my text?" "Yeah, I did. Have a good time." "Oh, you got that one, but I sent another one after that, sis. I forwarded it to you again." "Okay, who changed their mind? I'm really confused now, LOL. Gypsy did." "Okay, about killing her mom?" "Yes, she said she wants to see how our original plan goes first with me meeting her and her mom and such. And I guess she said she wanted to only do it as a last resort, sis."
Wait a minute. This was a year prior to them actually killing Dee Dee. So they were talking about it well before. Interesting.
"So I guess I'll be meeting her and her mom still first before that idea was to ever happen." "Okay." "Yeah, sis, I have to ask you something. How crazy do you think Gypsy is? You won't hurt my feelings or anything. I really want to know, though, since I just obviously can tell she is. I just can't seem to put into words how crazy I think she is." "Well, IDK how to put it into words either, but I'll be honest, I would not ever kill my mom or anyone else unless they tried to kill me first." "Yeah, I know, I suppose situations my mom, even though she has been hard on me overall, she has been a very good mother to me, so I could never do it to her. And the only reason I can understand it with her mom is because how unreasonably poor her mom treats her, but since it is a last resort thing, who knows, maybe it won't even have to happen. I suppose. Yeah, like I said, I'm different."
Sorry, let me interrupt you. I went a little too far. So Does that appear to be the end of this conversation between Nicholas Godejohn and Allie Ray Noble?
Yes,
And again, what date is this conversation taking place?
May 16th of 2014.
Now moving on to the second conversation, the one with Nicholas Godejohn and Beth Destris. If you could please read through this conversation.
Yeah, like I said, I'm different, and actually you didn't see a side of me that the woman I'm with now knows about, and it still didn't scare her off. It's called true love, Laura. I have that now. You have no idea what I've been through with my husband, and it was a lot worse than what I went through with you, and I'm still here by his side. Yeah, well, me and the one I am with are defying the laws of nature to stay together. It is as bad as can be. I won't tell you what I'll have to do to stay with her, but I'll do it if it means keeping her. Actually, Nick, I'm in the same boat. People have threatened to kill me, my husband, and my daughter for me to leave him, and I still haven't. There are demons in this world that are destined to keep me and him apart, but I'm not letting them tear us apart. Oh, I see. Well, you don't understand how bad it really is for me. I mean, you may know a nugget of it, but not the full thing. Sorry, I can't share it. It must stay between me and her. This is the same between me and him. If I even think of telling someone my life is on the line, I could be killed any day now. Well, someone else's life is on the line, and that is all I can say. Sorry. You don't think I know how it is, but I do. I got into a whole other world in life that I knew nothing about until I met him. Believe me, Laura, you don't know what I'm talking about. Just keep it at that. I can't say anymore. I'm not asking you to say anymore. I know what you're talking about. Tell me then if you were so confident in that you know. What? Completely different from what I'm experiencing and will have to deal with soon, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But if it must stay between me and her, I guess it has to. Completely different? What could be worse than the Chaos Dragon and the rulers of the spirit world afterlife threatening to kill her whole family for staying with one person? I have ghosts haunting me, possessing Tim, have him try to kill me. Well, you are in a whole different dilemma than me, but once I do what I must, I'll have to disappear from a place on Earth possibly for the rest of my life.
Yikes.
We were the same way when I joined the coven. Well, the one I'm with is aware of that stuff too, but I can't say anymore, so I'm shutting up about what me and her must do in the future. I have to do things I hate, terrible things that I hate just to keep him. I would be surprised if you were in the exact same spot as me. You would be surprised. Nick, I have to have sex with Tim in ways I hate in order to keep him. I make deals with the devil and have to do as he says, otherwise I lose. Wow, and just think, if we would have been together, you wouldn't have went down that path. The one I'm with is aware of those things. However, I will have to do the unthinkable just to keep me and her safe. And I must say, please never come around me. It's that I worry for the sake of him, not you. I wouldn't ever hurt you, even to this day, but what he sounds like he is putting you through, it makes me sad, even though it does. I can't open up about my situation, even if I wanted to. In truth, I do, but I can't, as you know me, being a Taurus, the most loyal sign in the zodiac. If I say anything, I would betray myself as much as I would betray her, and I can't do that to her. But I'll let you know, I hope you stay safe, even if you have to do things that are BDSM related.
BDSM.
The last conversation, who is this? This last conversation, when does that take place?
This one takes place June 9th of 2015.
And actually, in case I missed it, when was this previous conversation we just heard between Nicholas Godejohn and Beth Destris?
That one was April 22nd, 2015.
All right. So this final, if you could walk us through this final conversation between Nicholas Godejohn and Allie Ray Noble on June 9th, 2015.
Hey bro, how are you? I'm alright, hoping to see Gypsy tonight. Oh, thought you were going to get her. I am, sis, but it takes time though. Are you at home right now? No, I'm in a hotel in Springfield. I just got to get her. It'll be early in the morning when I do, sis. Is her mom all cool with everything at this point? No, not really, because, well, she almost got kicked out of her mom's house. She only saved it because she still hasn't gotten done packing up her things, sis. Since, honestly, her relationship with her mom seems broken, since I guess those two argue every day. How does she plan to get out of the house to go home with you? Well, you already know of her secret. She doesn't need her chair. She can walk, so she'll probably just either sneak out or something like that. Oh, I see. Yep, however, if all else gets worse, interesting. Just as life is meant to be interesting. That is true.
I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Meade, Mr. Barry?
Judge, we don't have any questions.
Okay, this witness, please, excuse me.
Yes, on behalf of the state.
Officer, thank you. Do you have another
I feel like
witness,
this
or
is
the
deep.
time to adjourn for the evening?
I've never
Is it time
seen
to
those
adjourn for the evening now?
messages.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop for the night. I want to again remind you of what you were told at the first recess of the court. Until you retire to consider your verdict, you must not discuss this case among yourselves or with others, or permit anyone to discuss it in your hearing. You should not form or express any given to you to decide. Do not do any research or investigation on your own about any matter regarding this case or anyone involved with the trial. Do not communicate.
Okay. Oh, there's Geneva. Hey,
Hey,
I'm checking because I think that's the end of day one. What's up?
not much. Got home a little earlier than expected.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
That is good. That was the end of day one. If you guys want, we can proceed to day two. Let me see who we've got on day two. Let's see. This is. Oh, it looks like when they go through the evidence in the house. So, if you guys want to proceed with that, we can surely go through that. Yeah, that did go quite. Day two sounds good for you. Okay. I'm trying to see if
So wait, so what you were saying is that they were planning this like a year before? Did I hear that right?
they were discussing. He was discussing it with a friend on Facebook a year before.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, it was May 16th, 2014. So,
May
yeah.
16th. Oh, that's more than a year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me get it to the part where I'm just getting to the part where they're getting the next witness up. Okay. Yeah, the second half of that went pretty fast. Now this one is 56 minutes, and then Kendra is doing her stream on the Watts case in an hour, so that should be perfect timing. That'll work out. And then I can always come back tomorrow and proceed with day two. So, okay, this dog is just everywhere right now. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, I'm already sharing it. Just kidding.
Name for the record, please.
Jody Kropp,
Spell your last name to the court.
K-R-O-P-P.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
How long have you worked for the Waukesha Sheriff's Office?
I'm in my 17th year.
And what is your current assignment?
I'm assigned to the Identification Bureau, which entails the crime scene investigation, property management, and evidence management for the property owner custody.
How long have you worked in that role?
2012, so going on my 6th year.
What kinds of things have you done in your career with that Sheriff's Office?
From the very beginning, or just for?
From the very beginning, just in general.
Yep, just started out as a patrol deputy for the Sheriff's Department, did patrol duties until 2012, and then promoted to general detective, just did general investigations, and then in 2012 took the Identification Bureau, where specialized training in crime scene investigation, property, and evidence collection.
I want to draw your attention to June 16th of 2015. Do you have an occasion to assist the Greene County Sheriff's Office with regard to a search in the city or village of Big Bend in Wisconsin?
Yes.
Is that in Waukesha County?
It is.
What was your role in assisting the Greene County Sheriff's Office in that investigation?
I was assigned to document the entire search warrant process through photographs.
And what residence was it that you were at?
The address or?
Yes, or just where was it?
It was in the Village of Big Bend on Cherry Street. I couldn't memorize the entire length of the address. It's quite long.
So unlike in Springfield, the addresses in Big Bend are pretty long.
Yeah, we have south numbers with sometimes 2 or 3 numbers, and then our west numbers are generally 5 numbers long. So we have a south number and then a west number, all the same address, and then the road name that is associated with those numbers and letters.
So with west 228, south 87755, sound familiar?
It does.
And we'll see that in one of your pictures actually.
Correct.
And during that search of that residence, was that pursuant to a search warrant?
It was.
And were you looking for evidence related to the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard here in Springfield, Missouri?
Yes.
And your role was photography?
Yes.
Tell us just in general how the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office processed that house on Cherry Street.
For every search warrant, we try to designate letters per room to help keep it organized as far as which detective search which room instead of everybody just kind of going off in their own direction. So prior to any search being done, the person assigned to do photo documentaries of the property will do overall photographs of the entire exterior of the residence, and then as we work through the residence and any outbuildings, we're just going to try to document the original condition of the rooms prior to any searches being done. And as we enter the room, we'll designate a ladder, which just helps us organize if anything is found in those rooms at some point, which the detective that's assigned to that area documents what room they were in and then what they found. And then after the overalls are done, once the search commences, if they do find a piece of evidence before it's collected, it will be photographed by me and then collected. And if anything needs to be documented, such as serial numbers or make or models of certain items that are found, those will be taken with closer up photos to document the numbers.
Prior to conducting the search, do you have some general information about who was associated with that house?
Yes.
Who was that?
It should be Godejohn residence. Specifically, we're looking for any evidence related either to Nicholas and Gypsy Blanchard.
I don't think they can get enough close-ups of this dude's face. Jesus. Oh, did I do that? What the hell did I just do that? What the hell?
Do what?
All of a sudden the screen, like, we were like big on the screen.
Oh, that's weird.
That was weird. I wasn't even by my
I'm
mouse.
going to show you a series of photographs that have not been introduced to the evidence yet, and I'll read what they're marked, and as we go through, if you just take a look at them, I'll ask you some general questions about them after we go through the list. So what's been marked for identification as State Exhibits 68, 69, 70, 71, please tell me if I'm going too fast, 72, 73, 74 and 75, 76, 77, 78, and 80, 81, 83, 84, 85, 87, 88, 90, 91, 93, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 128, 129, and 130. Do you recognize in general what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes.
And what in general is depicted in those photographs?
It would be the actual address where the search warrant was completed and an overview of the residence, and then any item that was collected as evidence throughout the residence.
And you would have taken many more pictures than the ones we just saw here, correct? These are just some of the ones that have been selected for trial.
Yes.
And do these photographs fairly and accurately depict Nicholas Godejohn's residence on the day of the search?
Yes.
I'd move to admit that list of exhibits, Your Honor. Any objection? Okay.
They are awful, Sam.
Just so I'm clear, 81 is a photograph, did you say? Yes, sir.
Okay, of hard drives?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because it just said hard drives on here.
Yes,
Okay.
there are some skipped numbers there that will be physical items.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see that all right? Yes. Everyone see okay? Right, what are we looking here at in State Exhibit 68?
This will be standing on Cherry Street looking directly at the front of the residence with that posted address for the search warrant.
And in State Exhibit 69?
That would be the posted address, which we do West 228 would be first, how we record it, South 8755 Cherry Street.
So if we were to read that, if we were thinking of the address, actually you would read it bottom to top
Correct.
of the address.
Yes.
What are we looking at here in State Exhibit 70?
This would be a screen door entrance into the residence where we made our initial entrance for the search warrant.
What are we looking at here in 71?
As the screen door was opened, what I have to do is to show my progression into the residence, so I'm kind of standing on
The
the
house
threshold of
is
that
a lot
screen door.
smaller than I thought it was.
Where are we now?
This is what I would call a kitchen area, so this would be a table. So as the last picture, as you walk through that screen door, you're going to continue straight past the stairs that were on the right, and then it would open up into this little kitchen area with a kitchen table.
And then are you going to document in some subsequent photos some items found on this table by another detective?
Yes.
Is that what we're looking here at in State Exhibit 73?
Yes, the black trifold wall that would have been in that last picture towards the center of the table.
And what's that on top of the wall up there?
Flip cell phone, black flip cell phone.
We're looking at State Exhibit 74 now. And then State Exhibit 75, what is that?
That would be that same flip phone from the last picture, how it's opened up at this point.
And State Exhibit 76?
Just the top view of the phone as it's opened up. Opens the trifold wallet from the previous picture that's opened up with Wisconsin photo ID in it.
And that's State Exhibit 77? What are we looking at here in 78?
Close-up picture of the Wisconsin identification card with Nicholas Godejohn's information.
It was in that trifold wallet?
It was.
Where are we now?
We are upstairs, so as you came in that screen door, there was a stairway going up, and this would have been a bedroom. So as you top the stairs, opened up into an open room, turn left, walk straight ahead, and then that would, the farthest you could go straight ahead would open up into this room.
Then there's like a door over here. Where does that door go?
That was a closet.
And now where are we?
Almost standing in front of that closet door, looking to our right, in the corner of that same bedroom.
And so over here, in this like entertainment center, is that like a monitor, a kid television, that black item there?
Correct. I believe that was being used at the time as like a computer monitor, large.
What are these?
These are two hard drives that were found in that same bedroom.
And were they found not in a computer but separate, just like we see them?
Correct. They were just laid, when they were found, they were just laid separate for photograph purposes like this, but they were not removed from any towers.
Now, in State Exhibit 84, what do we see in this photograph?
So now, if you see that door up in the top right of the picture, that's actually the entry door into the bedroom. So this would be to your immediate right as you come in. Specifically here, I wanted to document the brown leather jacket on the floor next to a red and black duffel bag, and just to the left of that are several electronic items.
It's kind of hard to see because it's all black. We'll see in another picture, but is there like a laptop computer bag right there that I'm highlighting?
There is.
And then that silver and black item, what is that?
That would be the computer tower that should have been hooked up to that TV monitor.
And then this wooden area over here, is that entertainment center with the monitor in it we saw earlier?
It is.
So we're looking at here at 85?
This is what we call a medium photograph of specific electronic items. So we have the computer tower on the bottom left, we have an Xbox gaming system just on top of that. And then over to the right, next to the red and black Marlboro bag, is a black, I believe, leather laptop case.
Right there that we're looking at?
Yes.
We're looking at here at 87?
So as we opened up that laptop case, we located this white HP laptop.
So the white there is like the lid of a Hewlett-Packard laptop computer?
Correct, the top cover, yes.
And here at 88, what's that?
This is the flip side of that laptop, just documenting the serial numbers for that specific white laptop from the last photo.
And now into the 90, what are we looking at?
The red and black duffel bag, which contains clothing items.
Now into 91.
Black Facebook backpack that also contained personal items.
If I recall from our earlier pictures, we were standing in the doorway, that backpack was sort of over to the left.
It was. I would classify it kind of out from that closet door on the left-hand side.
And what are we looking at here in 1693?
These are all the individual items removed from the interior of that Facebook black backpack at the top of the screen. Just laid out for overall pictures to show everything, generally what was in that backpack at the time.
And this item that had the pointer on there, that black rectangle, what is that?
That would be another cell phone?
The LG cell phone?
Correct.
And 94, back up to 93. All right, so just down below the cell phone, what's that?
Black, a roll of black, I believe, duct tape.
And what's this item here?
A bank bag from Community National Bank.
And this item here?
A box of handcuffs.
Now in 95, can we see that box of handcuffs a little more clearly?
Yes.
And Community National Bank bag. What is this here?
This was a, let's see, gallon-sized Ziploc bag, the right nest egg savings with, at this time, an undetermined amount of U.S. currency.
And over here, these white rectangular items?
That would be the bus ticket documenting different stops from Springfield back to Milwaukee. Greyhound, I believe.
6 to 96.
Social security card with the name Gypsy Blanchard.
97.
I believe it's a healthcare card with the same name of Gypsy Blanchard. And then a close-up photograph of the Ziploc bag of U.S. currency.
Which is Exhibit 98, correct?
Yes.
Exhibit 99.
Close-up photographs of those Green bus tickets.
From Springfield, I know it's small, but from Springfield to Milwaukee.
Correct.
What are we looking at here?
These were a pair of white tennis shoes located in that same bedroom from the floor, I believe, straight up from that closet door again.
And based on your training and experience, why did you document this particular pair of white tennis shoes?
During the overall photograph in the medium, I observed what you can kind of see at this point, an unknown red substance that appeared to be either directly spattered onto these white tennis shoes, and I believe that there's a possibility that those would be blood, so that's why they were taken.
Is there a map pointer there in the corner?
Yes.
And you said you can see it a little bit in this photograph. Can you kind of show us this overall photograph? What are you talking about?
Can I step down?
Yes, sir.
So on this left tennis shoe here, there's a very small red dot. Of course, the top portion of this, the right tennis shoe, or the front half of the shoe, there's what I would call a blood droplet. And then on the right half of the hose, there's also another little, I would say, blood smear, suspected blood smear.
Could you stay standing for a minute? States Exhibit 104, what are we looking at here?
This would be the right tennis shoe with just a close-up photograph of blood, suspected blood droplet, and on the right side, the suspected blood smears.
Can you show us the right side?
So there'd be one a little bit higher up here on the laces, and then one down here for the toes.
105.
There would be suspected blood right here towards the bones, very small, and then there's a little, a little bit of a round, a shadow here of red color. Then there's even a closer up photograph of that, so again, here's a little dot, another red dot, and then just kind of a red shoe.
And that's 106, that further close-up?
Yes.
Now, states Exhibit 107, what are we looking at?
This would be, here's the original Ziploc bag from the previous pictures that had bank savings written on it, and then detectives had sorted the currency by denomination and just laid it all for further documentation of how much money was there.
And so left to right, what denominations do we have there?
Starting with 100, then 50, the 20s, 10s, 5s, a $2 bill, and then singles.
What are we looking at here? 108?
This is that brown leather jacket that would have been directly to the right as you enter the bedroom, next to that red duffel bag.
And if I remember correctly, in the earlier photo, there wasn't that yellow and white piece of paper wasn't sitting on it in the earlier photograph. What is that?
This was removed from one of the jacket pockets by detective during search. It is I would say just a memo paper from Days Inn hotels.
Is that what we're looking at here in close-up in 109?
Yes.
With a list, toothbrush, lip balm, and condoms?
Correct.
States Exhibit 111, what is this?
This was a reddish or pink colored piece of luggage that was also in that bedroom upstairs.
And if I recall correctly, this is, if I'm saying it, over to the left as well, as opposed to over by the computer tower?
Correct. Up here would be the closet door. You can move it in the framework for the closet door.
Exhibit 112.
Ziploc bag that contained 3 suspected women's wigs.
And were those inside that pink bag?
Yes.
Did you eventually move the pink bag somewhere out of the room to further document what was in it?
We did. We took it downstairs and outside to get better lighting. It was pretty congested in the room at the time, and we just didn't be able to lay. There's a significant amount of items in that bag in order to lay it out correctly and get good overall photos between downstairs and outside.
And did you do that with that red and black Marlboro duffel bag as well?
We did.
What we're looking at here is States Exhibit 113.
The top portion, this would actually be the piece of luggage that was photographed and removed from the bedroom, and then we laid out between the drop cloth just to organize the items that were in the bag, give the wide overall picture of the items that were in that bag.
What we're looking at here is States Exhibit 114.
Similarly to the piece of luggage, we have the red duffel bag that was removed from the bedroom, and again, the new clean drop cloth would get clothing items removed from the interior of that duffel bag.
What is this in States Exhibit 115?
This is a hotel room key that you get when you first check. You have a bunch of keys in there that designates what room number that you're currently staying in.
Like that paper folder they give you with your keys in it?
Yes.
And does it have a room number on it?
It shows room 227.
What is this in 116?
This was a black short sleeve shirt located in that red duffel bag. Just laid out again to overall photograph the front portion of the shirt.
Were there some things in particular about this shirt and some other clothing we're going to see from the red duffel bag that you documented?
Yes.
What was that in general?
There were some smears and stains that appeared to be reddish in color, like a reddish hue that we suspect obviously experience the possibility of blood.
We're looking at 117.
So this would be the bottom portion of the t-shirt underneath the graphics. So specifically, what I wanted to document here would be this red item here. It's kind of hard to see, but throughout this entire area here, there appears to be some sort of reddish matter on the biological material. Specifically this one, hopefully we can see pretty good. And we just suspected that to be blood.
It seems like it's like super sped up.
This is the larger area of material, and then from here to here, there's different look to it, so we suspected that as well.
So if I look up in the top right-hand corner, that's that smaller piece that we saw in the earlier photograph, correct?
Yes, correct.
States Exhibit 119, what are we looking at here?
The black zippered hooded sweatshirt that again will be suspected to have blood on it.
States Exhibit 120.
So this is just again a closer up version of it. I do have some orange pointers to try to designate specifically what I wanted to show. Again, we have some dried suspected blood here as well as here. And then there's just a reddish hue over here as well, but nothing that jumps out.
States Exhibit 121, we're looking at here,
The left sleeve of that black sweatshirt.
and now in 122.
Okay. At the end of the cup for that sleeve, there's additional dried suspected blood.
States Exhibit 123.
I classified these as black and red jogging pants that were in that red duffel bag. And of course, the top half of this area, there should be some items of interest that we wanted to document.
All right, now we move back into the house for 1.8. What are we looking at here?
This would be that closet to your immediate left as you enter that upstairs bedroom, but now the door is open compared to how it's closed in the other pictures.
And if I look sort of into the closet, do I see something of interest down there in the corner?
Yes, as they were completing their inventory search of this closet, they located there should be a cardboard box in this drawing here, and right behind it, a sealed, I think maybe 10 by 12 inch vanilla envelope.
And now in States Exhibit 129, you see that box you were just referencing?
Yes, and then this would be that envelope.
States Exhibit 130.
This is a close-up of the front of that envelope. With the name of Nicholas Godejohn and the address up on Sherri Street where the search warrant will be completed.
And what's the return address?
The top line, that's the last name of Blanchard. There's a 2103 West Blanchard Way, Springfield, Missouri.
Go ahead and take your seat. After you documented those items, were they then packaged by somebody?
Yes, if basically what happens if the detective finds those items, I can photograph, document it, and then that detective would transport it to another one of our identification bureau detectives in a control area downstairs where he would document and package it.
And in this case, was that Detective Alan Voss?
It was.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Any questions of this witness?
Just a few, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Detective Bradley, I just have a few questions.
So much background
You referred
noise.
to the unknown red substance, correct?
Correct.
You can't call it blood because it had been tested at that time.
Correct.
But you suspected it was blood.
Yes.
And going back to number 103 and 104, those exhibits, the white shoes, you immediately saw those red droplets on there, correct?
When I did my meeting, yes, during the overall photographs, yes.
Okay, and you suspected they were blood?
Yes.
And you've got a little draining and then blood splatter and droplets and that sort of thing, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. The shoes didn't appear to have been cleaned, did they?
I don't believe so.
And I guess the same thing could be said with the hooded sweatshirt, the t-shirt, the other items that were suspected blood. They didn't appear to have been cleaned.
Correct.
And they were kind of wadded up and stuck in that Marlboro bag.
Yes.
Okay. There's also a bag that said Nest Egg Savings, correct?
Yes.
And how much money was contained in that bag?
I do not know the total denominations.
And you referred earlier to that address as the Godejohn residence.
Dee Dee must have had a stash of cash because if Gypsy said she took, well, like $5,000 with her and she had that much stashed in that plastic bag, she had a ton stashed away for a rainy day.
Yeah, if it said nest egg on it, then yeah, she was keeping it for
Yeah.
something.
I didn't know if you were still up here. I thought maybe you had dropped down or something.
No. Yeah, I mean, and who knows if she had more than that or if Gypsy cleaned her out.
Right.
That's correct.
Yes.
Other people lived there, correct?
I'm unsure.
You're not sure?
I do not know.
Did it have an appearance that there were other people living there?
Yes, there was a master bedroom, which I believe that I guess now that the parents did reside there.
Okay. So Nick, you would assume was living at home with his mom?
Yes.
And he had the upstairs kind of attic bedroom, correct?
Correct.
And exhibit number 77, the Wisconsin photo ID, and the large number 78, that was just a state identification card, correct?
Correct.
There wasn't a driver's license for Nick Godejohn, wasn't it?
If there was, I didn't individually photograph it.
Thank you, sir.
Anything further?
Yes, sir.
May this officer be excused?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Detective, thank you. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you very much.
Do you have another witness?
Yes, sir. State called Detective Alan Voss.
All right.
Why do you gotta zoom in so close? Why?
Come on up, detective. Just have a seat right here. It's easier if you sit. People fall off when I swear them that for some reason. You can solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before the court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Patterson.
Thank you. State your name, please.
My name is Alan Voss. Last name is spelled V as in Victor, O-S-S.
Did you used to work for the
What are the opinions of Gypsy here? I I personally am not Team Gypsy. So
Yeah, I'm not either.
I don't like that she's. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't like that she's sensationalized at all.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I was going to say too. I feel like she's getting, like people are overlooking the crime and what she did, and you know, I that I don't like, and I feel like obviously she was very complicit in this, and I don't feel like she should be getting the attention she is.
Yeah. You feel sorry for her, Kendra? Yeah, maybe one of these times, should do like a open panel type and just get people's thoughts on Gypsy. I'm on team that Gypsy needs to go back to jail. I
Yeah,
feel sorry for her and him, Kendra, but I don't think she should get all this attention. Well, I mean, I feel empathy for how, she was, I guess, forced to, um, I don't know, forced to
put on a
pretend
facade.
to be an adolescent,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I don't know. She was complicit in a lot of things, and the behaviors have kind of continued.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost seems like as an adult, she still is in the handout game,
Right.
so to speak.
Right. Yeah,
But
she very much is. And I also
Yeah.
heard that yesterday, I guess she had a parole hearing or appointment or something, and she didn't show up.
I have no idea.
I don't remember where I read that today, but I read that somewhere.
I don't know. There's so much stuff that goes around that I'm at the point, like, unless I see it and there's proof of it, like, I don't know. I don't want to go so much on speculation and rumors and gossip mongering as I do. I want facts. Like, I
Right.
want the proof.
Snark, I agree, Snark. Like, she did have legitimate medical issues. I mean, to what extent, we'll never know. We'll never know what was actually necessary medical care and what wasn't. But yeah, she manipulated the situation, I think, just as much as her mom did.
No, you're not derailing anything.
Shaw Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir.
Have you since retired from that department?
I have.
How long did you work for the Shaw Sheriff's Office?
Just over 28 years.
And towards the end of your career, what kind of work were you doing for the Sheriff's Office?
I was assigned as a detective to our Identification Bureau.
And were you working in that capacity in June of 2015?
Yes, I was.
On June 16th, 2015, did you have the occasion to assist the Greene County Sheriff's Office from Springfield?
Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm just pausing this just so I can tell you what I'm doing. I have this live scheduled to redirect after my live to go directly to Kendra's. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poll and ask, I don't know, are you team Gypsy or, I got to think of what questions to do. I've never done a poll before, so I could totally screw this up, but I'll think of something.
Missouri in the search of a residence on Cherry Street in Big Bend.
Yes.
What was your role in that search of that house?
Myself and Detective Kropp were sent to that home to collect, document, and preserve evidence that the search team was finding. Detective Kropp decided we split the duties. He was going to be the photographer, and I was going to be the written documentation person and the packager of the evidence.
And so by written documentation, you mean keeping a log of what things were taken?
Correct, in a property inventory sheet.
And I think you said also packaging the items?
Yes, sir.
Would you like go and do that in each individual room, or are you set up in a specific place?
What we do in larger crime scenes is whoever's doing the written documentation and the packaging will find a room or a location in the residence and set up a little workstation.
And so did you do that in this case?
I did. I picked a small table in the kitchen that was relatively out of the way and made a little space for myself.
And as you were doing that, as you were setting up, did you actually find some items of interest yourself that proceeds?
I did.
What were those items?
The table I was using had a bunch of things on it, so I cleared those off, and while I was doing that, I found a cell phone and a wallet.
Just a minute for the transfer over. Okay, do you recognize what's depicted and what's been admitted as State's Exhibit 68?
Yes, sir.
And State's Exhibit 71, can we see sort of the area in general where you were talking about that you set up?
Yes, straight ahead in the kitchen area.
In this area back here?
Yes.
And then State's Exhibit 72, what's depicted in that?
That is the table that I used after I cleared it off to do my written documentation and packaging.
In State's Exhibit 74, what do we see here?
That is a flip phone, flip cell phone, and a wallet.
And what about State's Exhibit 75, what is that?
That's the same flip phone, just open it up, and if there's anything on the screen, document it without going into the phone, actually, so to speak.
State's Exhibit 76?
That's the back side of the phone opened up as well.
I'm now going to show you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 79. And this has been opened in preparation for trial, because we looked at it before, correct?
Correct.
And so the outside clear packaging looks like it's from the Greene County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
And that has our Exhibit 79 sticker on it?
That is correct.
And if we look inside of it, what is this mill envelope here that we're looking at?
That is the original envelope that I packaged the item in after I found it on the table.
How do you know that?
It's my writing. I have my name, and I circled my name on the front. On the evidence seal is my initials and the date as well.
And is that sort of standard procedure when you seal something with evidence tape to put your initials and the date across the evidence tape?
Yes, sir.
And what color is your evidence tape that your agency uses?
Well, in this case, I believe I used mostly yellow, but to be honest, we use different colors. It's just that day I had some yellow tape.
Okay. And so if we look inside your envelope, what do we see inside there?
There's a black flip phone and a battery that took the battery out.
Okay. Other than the fact that the battery's been taken out, can you see the face of the phone there? Yeah?
Yes, and it has the name Kyocera on the front of it.
Other than the fact that the battery's been taken out, does that appear to be in substantially the same condition as when you seized it?
Yes, it does.
I move to admit State's Exhibit 79 and its contents.
Okay. It will be received without objection.
Sir, I'm not sure if he does or not. I haven't. This is the first time I'm watching this, so all of it is kind of a surprise to me.
I believe that is Mr. Godejohn's bedroom.
And is that Facebook bag something you're familiar with?
Yes, that was collected by our detectives as well.
Is that something you ended up packaging?
Yes, sir.
Shows and marked as State's Exhibit 92. Again, this is in a Greene County bag, correct?
Yes, sir.
So looking inside there,
Jesus.
you recognize the writing on the inner bag?
Yes, that's my writing.
And this bag has some clear evidence taped on it.
Yes, sir.
Is that something you use for larger items?
Correct. It's a little stronger, so it doesn't rip as easy to use on larger items.
And does this backpack and its contents?
Yes, sir.
Backpack and its contents?
Yes, sir.
Is it? Looking inside of it?
Yes, that is the item that we collected and then I packaged.
Whoa,
Was it in substantially
what
the
the
same
hell?
conditions when you packaged it?
It does look to be used.
I moved to admit State's Exhibit 92
What
and
is
its
happening?
contents.
This is turning down and it's not me
Contents
doing
listed
it.
as a separate exhibit 93.
I'm just going to admit it as 92 and its contents.
92.
What
okay.
the hell?
Any objection to that?
I'm not
Motion
touching
92
anything.
coming
Don't
in
look at
and
me.
93 is incorporated now.
Well, I would. No, how would you be able to control my computer?
Oh, good point.
Right, so in 83, there's a bed there,
Yes.
and then on the corner of that bed are the two hard
Okay,
drives. Were
that's
those packaged by
fucking
you as well?
weird.
Yes, they were.
Huh.
You want to see my exhibit list?
No, I just need a sticker.
Okay.
We show it's been marked for identification. It states exhibit 81A.
Yes.
Again, that's in a Greene County bag.
Yes, it is.
In the back here, it says opened 11/12/18. Are those your initials there?
Yes, sir.
If you look inside, it says exhibit 81A. Do you recognize that bag?
Yes, that's the bag I put the items in originally.
It's got a number 5 circled at the top.
Yes, it should be on the property sheet number 5.
Okay. And on the back of that bag,
It's got my initials and date across the seal.
if we look inside, what do we see inside?
Looks like the 2 hard drives that you showed me on, that you showed on the picture.
And they're substantially the same condition as when you took them?
It does look like that, yes.
A new to admit states exhibit 81A in its contents.
Let me see if I can pass this. If they're just
Without
gonna do
objection.
this.
In states exhibit 85, you see the desktop computer there?
Yes.
Is that something that you also packaged?
Yes, they brought that down to me and I did record that item.
I think it was packaged with the modem that we saw on top of it, correct?
Correct.
Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to get past this where they're just admitting stuff in.
This will be admitted subject to the conditions that we spoke about.
Oh.
I moved to admit states exhibit 124A.
Oh, Jesus, is this really the whole stream is them admitting all this shit in?
And so for the record, I hung it up. You see there in 130, it was not opened by you, correct?
No, it was not.
You packaged it as it was found.
Correct.
I'm sure it's been marked by identification as states exhibit 142.
Oh, Jesus.
That's another Greene County bag, correct?
Correct.
Inside it, you pull out the bag and discuss it in your hearing.
You should not form or express any opinion about the case until it is finally given to you to
Holy shit, that whole rest of that stream was literally them admitting evidence in. Unreal. I mean,
Don't they usually do that before?
no, because they have to have it on record, that it's been identified.
Mm.
But anyways, let me see how long this. Yeah, it's not necessary. That's why I was skipping through it. Well, not necessary to show. It's just, and the paper crumbling loud as hell by the mic was too much. So the next stream after that is an hour and 48 minutes, and then the one following that is 53 minutes. So I think that Kendra, are you still? Oh, there you are. You are still here. Okay. So I don't think I'm gonna that part today because let's see, that is looks like they're going over text messages. This is right before Gypsy's testimony. So they're going over text messages and it says examiner on the next one. So I don't know if that is the medical examiner or if that's a different type of examiner. I can't tell because it's just as examiner. And since I haven't watched it, I don't know. But yeah, they looks like they go through all the text messages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a stream for tomorrow and we can go through those streams because those text messages sound super interesting. And I suspect that it starts off with the medical examiner because I don't know what other examiner it would be. And the text. So I will get that scheduled for tomorrow. But when I end this stream, it's going to redirect you guys automatically over to Kendra's Chris Watts stream. So I know she put the stream in chat and I pinned it, but it will automatically zip you over there. If you guys don't mind joining her, she is also trying to do some true crime content and could definitely use your support. And
I want to just say really quickly, what I was saying about Gypsy missing her parole appointment, it's not speculation. That actually is confirmed. She did miss it and she stated she had an emergency. So
is that another emergency?
Apparently. I don't know if, and I don't know if it was yesterday. It was very recently. I believe sometime this week. She did have an appointment with the parole people and she missed it and said she had an emergency. That's all it says.
Oh, okay. Because I think it was either the week before, it was either last week or the week before last. She had a parole hearing for like apparently communicating with inmates that she was not supposed to be in contact with.
Yeah, that may have been it. That may have been it.
And she was like said she had an emergency at the hospital she had to go to. Like she was bleeding. She had spotting or something.
Yes. I believe that is what I was referring to, that one. Yes.
Kendra, let's see. I start at 4 p.m. my time. So Kendra starts in 40 minutes. Well, it'll still shoot over to your stream regardless, but you can always hit the notify button and it'll notify you when she goes live. But I would rather hold off on starting the text message stream until tomorrow. So that way we don't have to break that up if that's okay with you guys. And I can get my stream for tomorrow set up.
Do you know what time?
Not yet. Not yet. I have to look at my calendar. And I have to make some adjustments to my thumbnail, I think, since I kind of did part day 2 already.
Okay.
So, but, anyways, I appreciate you guys, sticking it out and watching this trial with me. And thank you, Geneva, for coming up.
Of course.
The way I'm not, oh yeah, no, I totally get that. I get that. I don't like eating on the mic either. So anyways, if I don't end up doing some spontaneous late night live again, like I did last night, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I think the next stream will be super late, will be super interesting too. It seems like they're really starting to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie. We were just getting ready to end, but it's good to see you. But yes, thank you guys for being here. And if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up on your way out and I shall zip you over to Kendra's. Hang tight, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys.